Welcome back to the channel, folks. In today's video, we're going to be checking out the Meganex MK2, a refreshed version of the original Meganex, which took the world by storm last year, around this sort of time. And actually, this headset was my daily driver for over 10 months of 2025, before being superseded by the Pimax Crystal Super Micro OLED. So with that in mind, I've got some questions I want to answer in this video today. The first one is, could this Meganex Superlight 8K Mark II be good enough now to take on the likes of the new Micro OLED VR headsets on the market in 2026? If you've got a previous Meganex Mark I, could this be a really good upgrade path for you, especially as Shiftle has stated that if you send your original back, you'll be able to upgrade to this Mark II for only around €400. And finally, I'm really intrigued to try the Meganex Mark II because it really was my favourite for such a long time. Could this entice me back, especially with that amazing form factor and those 4K Micro OLED visuals? How do they compare against the Micro OLED of the Pimax Crystal Super and Dream Air? Well, all those questions I'm going to answer, as well as many more, including what are the differences between this and the Mark I, in this video. So please do stick around, stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, now is a great time because 2026 is going to be another crazy year, let me tell you. So let's start by talking about the specification and of course what's changed. The Meganex is a very small form factor, I'm talking 200 grams Micro OLED VR headset with a resolution of 3552 by 3840. It has various refresh rates, including 90 Hz, pancake lenses built by Panasonic, and the IPD range is 58 to 72 millimeters. It does need inside-out tracking by SteamVR base stations, and it is a DisplayPort connection headset, so you're going to get those beautiful, fantastic 4K Micro OLED visuals. And you will be seeing some of those visuals in this video with through the lens footage, and let me tell you, it is absolutely glorious. So what's actually changed then? This Mark II has a range of different improvements, shall we say, that many users complained about. The first big one here is the diopter adjustments, which is a lot easier now to dial back to 0, and there's actually a marker there. The diopter adjustments also seem a little bit harder to move, so they won't sort of accidentally get moved out of place. Now, I will say that for some reason, the Mark II, which is quite ironic, I found it a bit harder to get a clear image than the Mark I, especially in the right eye. When I went back to the Mark I had no issues at all. It could be just this particular unit, I'm not sure, but in any case, I did get the image to where it needed to be eventually. But it must be said, I'm not a fan of the diopter adjustment. In theory, it was a great idea, but in practice, it seems to be doing more harm than good. But I am quite glad that I've tried another Meganex now, because I said in my first review that my unit, I just had no issues at all. But with this new one, things were a bit of a different story. Interesting. So I'm now pointing to the connector, which has also been upgraded, and it's a lot more secure now in that housing. Great to see. And as we unbox the Mark II, this is everything you get in the package, and pretty much it's exactly the same as the original. You don't get any different facial interface or anything like that. I will, however, be showing you the hard strap in a moment as well, which is an optional accessory. A major change, in my opinion, is the firmware and the CPU. The startup speed of the Meganex Mark II is at least 5 times faster, and you definitely feel it and see it. And also the IPD adjustment is snappier with the motors. It just feels like a lot more polished product now. And that includes the software as well, which actually includes the SBoy 3 driver as standard. Right then, let's move on to the hard strap, which is an optional accessory. Shiftle did send me this, and yeah, let's check it out. And as we unbox it, just a quick rant about the fact that a lot of smaller VR headsets come with soft straps, which I think is a huge negative. It's great that Shiftle and other manufacturers like Big Screen are now offering a hard strap, because it really makes a huge difference, folks. And spoiler alert, this makes the Meganex insanely comfortable. And as you can see, it is very well made, actually, incredibly light, feels very nice on the head, and I think it looks pretty damn cool as well. Quite chunky looking, but of course the Meganex really is only around 185 grams until you put this half strap on, and it really makes the comfort really mind-blowing. Like, I could wear this all day, no problems at all. Now, if you're wondering what on earth is on my thumb, that's what happens when you slam a conservatory door onto it. So I wouldn't recommend that. So sorry about the thumb being all gross, but not a lot I can do about that, folks. But as you can see here, all the adjustment is there. This is one of the party pieces of the Meganex, in my opinion, is the adjustability. You can change the eye relief very quickly, sliding it backwards and forwards, as well as the tilt mechanism, which is fantastic. And I'm going to show this now in this particular clip where I'm looking around. As you can see here, no problem at all. I fancy a cup of tea, so I'll flip up the headset, have my drink. Yeah, feeling good. And then put it back down again and crack on with the rest of my VR session. So it's fair to say that the Meganex has human eye pass-through. But anyway, in all seriousness, it is a useful feature because it means you can flip it up to talk to someone if you really feel like you want to in real life. I'd rather be in VR personally. Or you can, you know, look at your controllers, look at your keyboard, and you know what? Once you've gone back to another headset, you really miss that flip-up mechanism. So overall, it's a win from me. Only one issue though. I would love to see integrated audio. Maybe that's something Shiftal are working on, but it's not included with this hard strap. So we've gone through some of the major improvements, and this is all from user feedback. And I'm quite impressed to see Shiftal really taking the community seriously and improving it very quickly, and also offering an upgrade path for those who are looking to upgrade their existing Meganex. And you might be surprised what I'm going to say as well when compared to the Pimax Dream Air, for example, which has eye tracking. It's not as simple as that's a better headset, job done. There's other things to consider, and I'm going to talk about that in this video as well. So how does it feel in practice? Well, it's the same as it was before. That is incredibly sharp, beautiful, uninterrupted 4K micro OLED visuals, very similar to that of the Pimax Crystal Micro OLED. I will say though that these BOE panels are not quite as clear as the 4K Sony panel. Now I really am splitting hairs when I say that, but when looking at a clear blue sky with this particular model, I can see really ever so slight bit of Mura, but I mean it's something that probably most of you would never even see. But when compared to the Crystal Micro OLED, which I'm going to mention a few times in this video, I think it's fair, it definitely doesn't have that wow factor so much, and that includes the lenses. One thing that I was really surprised about when going back to the Meganex, having not used it for a while, was that the lenses, the optics, well, they're definitely not as good as the Pimax Micro OLED. And going back to back, you can definitely see the difference in the distortion profile. The Meganex has quite a warpy display when compared to the fantastic visuals of the Micro OLED panels of the Pimax Crystal Super and Dream Air. It's funny because in my first review of the Meganex, I did mention that it had warping on the edges. But now having seen the competition, that is Big Screen Beyond version 2, and of course now the new headsets from Pimax, it's amazing how things have changed in such a short time. So things aren't looking that great for the Mark II Meganex at this point, and that's simply because things have really progressed in such a short time. It's crazy. Don't get me wrong though, the optics are fine, and if you get dialed in, making sure that your eye relief is where it should be, it's tilted correctly and you're in the sweet spot, and ideally as close to those lenses as possible, then you'll absolutely be fine. And with the different distortion profiles, with the S-Boy 3 mod, which is completely free, please do consider giving him a donation, because those different distortion profiles really do make a difference and help the Meganex greatly, to the point where actually some of his work is now in the official driver. Now in this point in the video, the Mark II starts to fight back, because the comfort, and I'm not just talking about the comfort on your head but your eyes, is excellent. And once you're in the eye box of the Meganex, you can be in this all day, not a problem. And a lot of that is because it's just a very light headset, but it also doesn't get very hot. The maximum time I've been in the Meganex is a whopping 7 hours. That is a huge difference compared to the Crystal Micro OLED. I can only manage about 2.5 hours because it does get very hot and the extra bulk of that headset does start to weigh down eventually. Now the Dream Air, I can't really comment right now, I don't have the final unit, but I suspect that will get quite warm as well depending on the design. The Meganex can simply be on your head all day long and it just feels absolutely fantastic. And it's even better now with this hard strap, especially with the increased binocular overlap. You do lose a bit of field of view. I measured around 106 degrees horizontal, which is still fine for me. And because you do get a really nice 3D binocular overlap, it feels really nice on your eyes. And it really truly is all day comfortable. So a massive tick in the box there for Shift All. One other thing I want to mention, and that is the motion smoothing or motion reprojection. Again, with the S-Boy 3 driver, the motion reprojection is absolutely stellar and really smooth. If you're aware of the channel and you've been a subscriber for a long time, you know that I absolutely love good motion reprojection, and Pimax cannot get this dialed in at all. It's awful. With the Meganex, it's super smooth. It feels as good as a virtual desktop's implementation, that's SSW, with the Quest 3, and that's saying something. So if you like your motion reprojection, the Meganex absolutely scores full points there. And let's just go back to the quality again of that display. It's really odd because my original Meganex didn't have any mirror at all. So I guess there's some inconsistencies with the panel display. When I talk about mirror, it's nowhere near that of any LCD headset that I've ever tried. It's so faint and so slight that it really just blends in very nicely with the blue sky. It's just that when compared to the Sony 4K micro OLED display, it is noticeable. So the question now remains, is this headset for you? Well, there's a couple of things to think about here. First of all, if you can't stand Pimax, and I know there's a lot of people out there that will never buy a headset from them ever again, then the Meganex is a very good alternative. It has that absolute amazing 4K micro OLED display that is the best in the business right now. You're not going to get anything better than this. Maybe the Sony 4K just tips it in certain areas, and especially optics, it must be said. The Meganex is still a sound purchase when it comes to absolute insane visuals, as you've seen from some of this through the lens footage. It's also a lot more comfortable with the flip up mechanism, massive adjustability, and with the better binocular overlap and eye comfort. You can be in this all day, especially because it doesn't get so hot as the competition. That includes Big Screen Beyond, by the way. Now the software is a lot better than it used to be, and this is a very snappy little headset now with the latest CPU upgrades, the firmware. This thing is very reliable, I'm glad to say. It should have been like this with the Mark 1, but at least for other Meganex owners now, you can upgrade for just €400. I personally think that's a no-brainer. To get the Mark 2 and all of its latest features for around 350 British pounds or around €400, I think that's very fair. And if it was me and my money and I had a Meganex Mark 1, I would definitely be upgrading to the Mark 2. But for others out there that are looking forward to 2026, there is one massive omission from the Meganex, it has to be said, and that is eye tracking. Even Big Screen Beyond version 2 now supports rudimentary dynamic foveated rendering through its software, and of course, as I've mentioned lots of times now, the Pimax Super and Dream Air micro OLEDs will have eye tracking as well. It is a great shame. Admittedly though, if you do have a powerful computer, I'm thinking a 5070 Ti up to a 5090, then eye tracking isn't so essential in games like IL2, which we've been watching today, or even Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 with its fixed foveated rendering. But eye tracking, in my opinion, is definitely something that should be in all new headsets going forward, and it is a great shame that they can't include that with this refresh version. But I will just close by saying that Shift All are a fantastic company, and I have a lot of respect for the team and what they're doing, and the fact that they've turned this around so quickly and addressed many of the issues the community faced very quickly is remarkable for such a small company. it's still a stellar headset, and actually it's still the headset I pick up when I want to do a full day of VR flying. It's comfortable, it has an amazing, incredible display, and what I mean by that is I wouldn't change from a Meganex to a Xtreme Air if I already had a Meganex. You're not going to see a huge difference because it has that special 4K OLED magic that once you've seen it, you could never go back. It's also a lot more solid when it comes to the firmware and CPU, which means it should be a lot more reliable and give you a lot less issues. For example, when upgrading firmware. However, I think for most of you though, it's probably best to wait and see how the dust settles once I get the final version of the Xtreme Air. That, in my opinion, is the biggest competitor to this headset in 2026 going forward. What do you think, folks? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If this video has been helpful to you and you appreciate my work, you can order your new Meganex Mark II through my affiliate link. There is no pressure at all to do so, and it makes no difference to my opinion, as you know from this channel, but it's there in case you want to support the crazy amounts of work it takes to keep this channel going. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.